First contact and tension. The day humanity realized it wasn't alone in the universe began like any other. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, lead astronomer at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, was reviewing data from the previous night's deep space scans when an anomalous signal caught her attention. At first, she dismissed it as an equipment malfunction or perhaps a stray satellite transmission. But as she dug deeper, her heart began to race. "This can't be right," she muttered, her fingers flying across the keyboard as she cross-referenced the data with every known celestial body and human-made object in Earth's vicinity. Nothing matched. The signal was artificial, powerful, and undeniably alien. Within hours, observatories around the world confirmed her findings. Humanity held its collective breath as governments scrambled to respond to this paradigm-shifting event. The United Nations convened an emergency session, and for the first time in history, petty national squabbles were set aside in the face of this momentous revelation. As the signal grew stronger, it became clear that whatever had sent it was approaching Earth. Scientists worked around the clock to decipher its contents, and after 3 days of feverish activity, they cracked the code. It was a message, an introduction from a species calling themselves the Zarkov. The Zarkov, as humanity would soon learn, were a spacefaring civilization that had dominated their corner of the galaxy for millennia. They presented themselves as benevolent explorers, eager to welcome humanity into the galactic community. Their massive ship, a gleaming construct of exotic metals and pulsing energy fields, took up position in high Earth orbit, dwarfing the International Space Station and capturing the imagination of every person on the planet. Dr. Rodriguez found herself thrust into the spotlight as part of the first contact team. Along with diplomats, linguists, and military advisors, she boarded a shuttle bound for the Zarkov vessel. As they approached the alien ship, Elena couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Remember," General Marcus Thorne, the military liaison, reminded the team, "we're not just representing our individual nations. We're representing all of humanity. Let's make a good first impression." The interior of the Zarkov ship was a marvel of technology and alien aesthetics. Curved, organic shapes melded seamlessly with what appeared to be living metal. The air hummed with an energy that set Elena's teeth on edge, but she pushed her discomfort aside as they were led to the ship's central chamber. The Zarkov themselves were a sight to behold. Tall, willowy beings with iridescent skin and multiple limbs that moved with hypnotic grace. Their large, multifaceted eyes seemed to take in everything at once, and when they spoke, it was with a harmonic resonance that vibrated in Elena's chest. "Welcome, children of Earth," the Zarkov leader, who introduced himself as High Commander Ixara, greeted them. "We have long awaited this moment." Initial exchanges were cordial, if somewhat strained by the vast differences in culture and technology. The Zarkov shared tales of their interstellar empire, spanning hundreds of worlds across multiple star systems. They spoke of advanced sciences that made human achievements seem primitive by comparison, and of a galactic society teeming with diverse alien species. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, cracks began to appear in the facade of benevolence. Elena, who had been tasked with coordinating scientific exchanges, noticed a pattern in the Zarkov's inquiries. They seemed inordinately interested in Earth's natural resources, particularly its abundance of water and rare Earth elements. "I don't like it," General Thorne confided in her during a private moment. "They're asking too many questions about our military capabilities, our population centers. It feels like they're sizing us up." Elena had to agree. The initial wonder of first contact was giving way to a growing sense of unease. Humanity had hoped for mentors and allies, but was beginning to suspect they might have found conquerors instead. The turning point came during a high-level meeting between Zarkov representatives and Earth's leaders. High Commander Ixara, his tone no longer welcoming but cold and imperious, laid out their true intentions. "Your world possesses resources vital to the continued expansion of the Zarkov Empire," Ixara declared. We require unrestricted access to your oceans, minerals, and a portion of your population for labor. The human delegates were stunned. President Amelia Chen of the newly formed United Earth government found her voice first. And if we refuse? Zixara's multifaceted eyes gleamed with a predatory light. Then you will be deemed hostile to the Empire's interests. The consequences would be severe. As the implications of this threat sank in, Elena felt a chill run down her spine. Humanity, which had only just taken its first tentative steps into the cosmic ocean, now faced an existential threat from the stars. The following days were a whirlwind of emergency meetings, military mobilizations, and frantic attempts to negotiate with the Zarkov. But it quickly became clear that the aliens had no interest in compromise. They saw Earth as nothing more than a resource to be exploited, its people as primitives to be subjugated or eliminated. World leaders debated their options, but the choices were grim. Surrender and become slaves in all but name, or resist and face the wrath of a technologically superior foe. The Zarkov's ultimatum hung over the planet like a sword of Damocles, threatening to fall at any moment. It was during one particularly heated UN session that an unexpected voice cut through the chaos. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a brilliant but often overlooked physicist from Japan, stepped up to the podium. "We are not as helpless as they believe," Yuki declared, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "In my lab, we've been reverse engineering some of the Zarkov technology. I believe we can adapt it, combine it with human ingenuity to create defenses they won't expect." A murmur ran through the assembly. Hope, that most human of emotions, began to kindle in the hearts of those present. General Thorne leaned forward, his eyes alight with interest. "What exactly are you proposing, Dr. Tanaka?" Yuki laid out her plan, a daring combination of repurposed alien tech and cutting-edge human science. It was risky, untested, but it offered a glimmer of possibility where before there had been only despair. As the assembly debated Yuki's proposal, Elena found herself drawn into a conversation with a group of young engineers and scientists. Their eyes burned with determination, their minds already racing with ideas on how to implement and improve upon Yuki's designs. "We can do this," one of them, a lanky programmer named Raj, insisted. "Humans have always been at their best when our backs are against the wall. This is our moment to prove what we're capable of." Elena looked around the room, seeing the same fire kindling in eyes everywhere she looked. The initial shock and fear were giving way to something else: resolve, determination, and a uniquely human spirit of defiance. As the UN session concluded with a unanimous decision to resist the Zarkov's demands, Elena felt a surge of pride in her species. They faced an enemy that outgunned them in every conventional sense, but humanity had something the Zarkov couldn't account for: an indomitable will and a creativity born of desperation. The Zarkov had made a critical error. They had assumed that humanity would roll over in the face of superior technology and military might. They didn't understand that by threatening Earth, they had awakened a sleeping giant. Humans, when united against a common threat, were capable of feats that defied all rational expectation. As Elena left the UN building, she overheard a conversation that would come to encapsulate humanity's response to the Zarkov threat. A grizzled veteran was speaking to a group of young recruits, his voice carrying the weight of experience and the fire of determination. "They think they can just come here and take our home," he growled. "Well, I've got news for them. You want a war? We'll show you a war. This is humanity they're dealing with, and we don't go down without one hell of a fight." The recruits cheered, their enthusiasm infectious. Elena felt it too, a swelling of courage and resolve. The road ahead would be difficult, perhaps the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced. But as she looked up at the stars, where the Zarkov ships loomed like dark promises, Helena knew one thing for certain. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy what they were made of. The ultimatum and preparation. Operation Trojan Horse flashed across the holographic display in the underground war room. General Marcus Thorne stood before a diverse group of Earth's brightest minds, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of the projections. The tension in the air was palpable as humanity's last hope unfolded before them. "Ladies and gentlemen," Thorne began, his voice gravelly but determined, "we're about to attempt the impossible. In 72 hours, we launch our counteroffensive against the Zarkov. Failure is not an option." Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now heading the Xenotechnology Division, stepped forward. "We've made significant breakthroughs in adapting Zarkov tech to our systems. Project Phoenix is ready for deployment." A murmur of excitement rippled through the assembled group. Project Phoenix, a revolutionary stealth system that bent light and energy around objects, making them virtually undetectable, was humanity's ace in the hole. Meanwhile, in orbit, the Zarkov fleet loomed ominously. High Commander Zixara's patience was wearing thin. The humans' defiance puzzled him. No species had ever resisted the Zarkov Empire for this long. "Initiate the ultimatum protocol," Zixara commanded, his multifaceted eyes gleaming with anticipation. On Earth, billions watched in horror as massive holograms materialized in the skies above every major city. Zixara's alien visage towered over the landscape, his voice booming with otherworldly resonance. "People of Earth," the message began, "your leaders have foolishly rejected our generous offer. You have 24 hours to surrender unconditionally, or we will demonstrate the true power of the Zarkov Empire." As panic threatened to engulf the planet, an unexpected voice cut through the chaos. Aria Chen, a 17-year-old high school student from Singapore, had hacked into the global emergency broadcast system. "Fellow Earthlings," Aria's youthful but steady voice rang out, "don't give in to fear. Remember who we are. We're the species that went from horse-drawn carriages to walking on the moon in just 66 years. We've cured diseases, split the atom, and created art that touches the soul. The Zarkov may have advanced tech, but they lack something essential, the human spirit." Her impromptu speech, dubbed the Aria Inspiration by social media, went viral instantly. It sparked a global movement of resistance and innovation. Ordinary citizens began contributing to the war effort in extraordinary ways. In Mumbai, a group of Bollywood stunt performers developed gravity-defying maneuvers that would later become crucial in Zero combat. In Lagos, a team of video game designers repurposed VR technology to create ultra-realistic battle simulators. And in Antarctica, climate scientists repurposed their ice-drilling equipment to help construct vast underground shelters. Back in the war room, Dr. Yuki Tanaka unveiled her masterstroke, the Quantum Entanglement Disruptor, QED. "The Zarkov ships use quantum entanglement for instant communication," she explained. "The QED will sever those links, throwing their fleet into chaos." As the hours ticked down, humanity's preparation reached a fever pitch. The plan was audacious. Use Project Phoenix to sneak the strike team aboard the Zarkov command ship, deploy the QED, and turn the aliens' technology against them. Leading this suicide mission was Captain Zaren Wosu, a decorated Special Forces operative with a reputation for achieving the impossible. As she briefed her team, a mix of elite soldiers and brilliant scientists, Zara felt the weight of history on her shoulders. "I won't lie to you," she said, her voice steady. "The odds are stacked against us. But every great achievement in human history started as an impossible dream. Today, we're not just fighting for our lives, we're fighting for our right to dream." In orbit, oblivious to the humans' plans, Zixara prepared for what he believed would be a swift victory. The arrogance of the Zarkov, cultivated over millennia of easy conquests, blinded them to the ingenuity of their adversaries. As the deadline approached, a tense calm settled over the planet. In homes, shelters, and military bases around the world, humans huddled around screens, waiting for news. Parents held their children close, lovers shared what they feared might be final embraces, and soldiers steeled themselves for the coming storm. In New York, the giant hologram of Zixara flickered to life once more. "Your time has expired," the alien commander declared. "Prepare tow." Suddenly, the transmission cut off. In its place, a new image appeared, the insignia of the United Earth Defense Force, a phoenix rising from a stylized globe. A chorus of cheers erupted worldwide as humanity seized the initiative. Operation Trojan Horse was underway. Captain Mosu's team, cloaked by Project Phoenix, slipped past the Zarkov's formidable defenses. As they infiltrated the massive alien flagship, Earth's military launched a coordinated attack, a flurry of missiles and fighters drawing the Zarkov's attention. Inside the alien vessel, Zara and her team fought their way through twisting, organic corridors. The ship itself seemed alive, pulsing with an eerie bioluminescence. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, part of the strike team, worked feverishly to interface their technology with the alien systems. "We're in," Elena exclaimed as her quantum tablet synced with the Zarkov network. "Deploying the TED, now." A wave of energy pulsed outward, invisible but potent. Across the Zarkov fleet, systems began to fail. Ships lost contact with each other, weapons misfired, and chaos reigned. On the bridge of his flagship, High Commander Zixaro watched in disbelief as his invincible armada fell into disarray. "Impossible," he hissed, his composure cracking for the first time. But the humans weren't done. Phase 2 of Operation Trojan Horse kicked in as Elena activated a hidden subroutine in the QED. Zarkov ships began to turn on each other, their AI systems corrupted to perceive allies as enemies. As battles raged in orbit, the news spread across Earth. Humanity had landed the first blow, and it was a decisive one. The impossibly advanced alien fleet was in shambles, outmaneuvered by human ingenuity and daring. In the war room, General Thorne allowed himself a grim smile. "Send the message," he ordered. Moments later, every screen on Earth and every Zarkov ship still functioning displayed the same text. "To the Zarkov Empire, you wanted a war. We'll show you a war. This is humanity, and we're just getting started." As cheers erupted around the world, the battle for Earth entered a new phase. Humanity had proven itself a force to be reckoned with, but the war was far from over. The Zarkov, reeling from this unexpected setback, would soon regroup and retaliate. But for now, Earth celebrated its first victory. In homes and shelters, in the streets and underground bunkers, humans embraced, laughed, and cried tears of joy and relief. They have faced their darkest hour and emerged stronger, more united than ever before. As the Zarkov fleet retreated to regroup, Captain Wosu and her team made their daring escape from the alien flagship. Their mission had changed the course of the war, but they knew this was only the beginning. On screens around the world, Area Chen's face appeared once more. The young hacker, now a symbol of Earth's resistance, smiled confidently. "Remember this moment," she said, her words echoing across the planet. "This is the day humanity showed the universe what we're made of, and we're just getting warmed up." As the sun rose on a new era for Earth, one thing was clear. The Zarkov had gravely underestimated their opponent. Humanity, with its back against the wall, had once again proven its extraordinary capacity for innovation, courage, and unity in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle for Earth had begun, and humanity was ready to fight for its place among the stars. The cosmic chess game. The holographic war room buzzed with activity as Operation Stardust unfolded. General Thorne stood before a 3D projection of the solar system, his face illuminated by the swirling representation of human and Zarkov forces. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice carrying a mix of determination and awe, "welcome to the first interplanetary battle in human history." Dr. Elena Rodriguez stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with excitement. The quantum entanglement disruptor was just the opening move. Now, we unleash our secret weapon, the swarm. On cue, the hologram zoomed in on a cloud of tiny, glittering objects near Mars. These were the fruits of Project Hive Mind, Millions of nanobots, each no larger than a grain of sand, but together forming a collective intelligence that rivaled the most advanced AI. The swarm is our cosmic chess piece, Elena explained. It can reconfigure into any shape, adapt to any situation, and even replicate using space debris. The Zarkov won't know what hit them. Meanwhile, in the depths of the Zarkov flagship, High Commander Zixara seethed with rage. The humans' initial victory had shaken the Empire to its core, but the Zarkov had ruled the stars for millennia. They would not be undone by mere primitives. Activate the Void Cascade, Zixara commanded, his voice dripping with malice. Let's show these humans the true meaning of cosmic power. Back on Earth, in a hidden facility beneath the Sahara Desert, Captain Zoran Wosu was preparing for humanity's boldest mission yet. She stood before her team, a mix of elite soldiers, brilliant scientists, and a group of professional gamers. "I know what you're thinking," Zara said, noting the puzzled looks. "But these gamers have something we need, the ability to think in 6 dimensions." Lai Chen, a former esports champion, stepped forward. "The Zarkov think in linear paths. We think in power-ups, respawn points, and physics-defying moves. We'll show them what it means to play 4D chess, literally." As the team prepared, a commotion erupted in the war room. The Void Cascade, a weapon that literally tears holes in the fabric of space-time, had been activated. Miniature black holes began to appear throughout the solar system, threatening to swallow everything in their path. "This is it, people," General Thorne shouted. "Operation Stardust is go." Across the solar system, human forces sprang into action. The swarm, guided by the gamers' unconventional strategies, began to dance around the black holes, using their gravity to slingshot towards the Zarkov fleet. In low Earth orbit, a team of parkour athletes turned astronauts launched themselves from a space station, using experimental gravity surfing technology to ride the waves of distorted spacetime. Led by Aisha Kamara, a Senegalese free-running champion, they aimed to board and sabotage key Zarkov vessels. Meanwhile, deep in the Kuiper Belt, Dr. Yuki Tanaka unveiled her masterstroke, the quantum folding engine. This revolutionary drive allowed human ships to literally fold space, jumping instantly across vast distances. "We're not just fighting in space," Yuki declared, her eyes shining with the light of distant stars. "We're fighting with space itself." As battles raged across the solar system, an unexpected ally emerged. A faction of the Zarkov, led by Sub-Commander Vexara, had grown disillusioned with the Empire's conquests. Impressed by humanity's resourcefulness, they decided to defect. "Your species has shown us something we had forgotten," Vexara transmitted to Earth. "The joy of discovery, the thrill of true challenge. We stand with Earth." The war took on new dimensions as human ingenuity, coupled with Zarkov insider knowledge, began to turn the tide. The swarm, guided by the gamers' chaotic brilliance, ran circles around the Zarkov fleet. Aisha's team, surfing on waves of gravity, wreaked havoc on enemy ships. And Yuki's quantum folding engine allowed human forces to appear and disappear at will, striking from impossible angles. But the Zarkov were far from defeated. High Commander Zixara, his multifaceted eyes blazing with fury, unleashed the full might of the Empire. Planet-sized weapons platforms emerged from hyperspace, threatening to obliterate entire worlds. It was then that Aria Chen, the young hacker who had become the voice of Earth's resistance, made her most audacious move yet. Using a combination of Zarkov tech and her own coding brilliance, she broadcast a message, not just to Earth or the solar system, but to the entire galaxy. People of the stars, her voice rang out across light years, witnessed the birth of a new power. "We are humanity, we are Earth, and we will not go quietly into the night." Her call resonated across the cosmos. Other species, long oppressed by the Zarkov, saw hope in humanity's stand. Alien allies began to arrive, not in vast numbers, but bringing with them technologies and strategies the Zarkov had never encountered. As the battle reached its crescendo, Captain Zoran Wosu and her team executed the final phase of Operation Stardust. Using the quantum folding engine, they jumped their ship directly into the heart of the Zarkov command vessel. In the ensuing chaos, Zara found herself face-to-face with High Commander Zixara. The alien towered over her, a being of terrifying power and age. But Zara stood her ground, embodying the indomitable spirit of humanity. "You fight well, for primitives," Zixara hissed, his voice a symphony of scorn and grudging respect. Zara's reply was cold steel. "We're not primitives, we're humanity, and this is our solar system." What followed was a battle that would be sung about for generations, not just on Earth, but across the galaxy. Human adaptability and courage against Zarkov power and experience. The fate of Earth, of humanity's future among the stars, hung in the balance. As the dust settled and the quantum echoes faded, the solar system fell silent. The great Zarkov armada was in retreat, their first defeat in millennia seared into the cosmic record. Earth had won the day, but the war was far from over. As celebrations erupted across the planet, General Thorne's voice cut through the jubilation. "Well done, everyone. But remember, we've only just introduced ourselves to the galaxy. Our real journey is just beginning." As the sun rose on a new era for Earth, humanity looked to the stars not with fear, but with determination and hope. They had faced the universe's greatest empire and held their ground. Now the cosmos awaited, full of wonders and challenges yet to be discovered. The battle for Earth was won. The quest for humanity's place in the stars had just begun. The quantum rebellion, the holographic war room, once a bastion of military strategy, had transformed into something extraordinary. Suspended in the center was a pulsating, multidimensional construct that defied conventional physics, the quantum nexus. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, her eyes glowing with an eerie blue light, interfaced directly with the nexus through a neural link. "Welcome to the future of warfare," she announced, her voice echoing with a slight digital distortion, where the lines between reality and possibility blur. General Thorne, looking both awed and slightly unnerved, addressed the assembled team. "Operation Schrödinger's revenge is a go. May God have mercy on our souls, across all possible timelines." The quantum nexus wasn't just a strategic tool, it was a window into parallel realities. Humanity had discovered that the universe was far stranger than they had ever imagined. The Zarkov weren't just fighting them in this reality, they were waging war across the multiverse. Meanwhile, on the fringes of the solar system, Captain Zoran Wosu led a daring mission. Her ship, the HSS Paradox, was more than a vessel. It was a living, thinking entity created through a fusion of human consciousness and Zarkov biotechnology. "All right, Paradox," Zara communicated through her neural link. "Let's show them what transdimensional warfare looks like." The ship responded not with words, but with a feeling of eager anticipation that resonated through Zara's entire being. As the HSS Paradox phased between realities, a new threat emerged. The Zarkov had unleashed their ultimate weapon, the chronovores. These monstrous entities fed on time itself, erasing entire civilizations from existence. Back on Earth, an unlikely hero emerged. Mohammed El-Farsi, a 12-year-old prodigy with an unprecedented gift, the ability to perceive and manipulate quantum probabilities with his mind. "The chronovores," Mohammed explained, his young voice carrying wisdom beyond his years, "they're not just creatures. They're like anti-stories. They don't just destroy, they make it so that things never were." In response to this existential threat, humanity unleashed its most audacious plan yet, the quantum rebellion. Led by Mohammed and supported by a global network of probability weavers, they began to rewrite the very fabric of reality. Across the Earth, millions joined in a synchronized meditation, their collective consciousness becoming a weapon more powerful than any doomsday device. Ancient mysticism merged with cutting-edge science as humanity tapped into the fundamental forces of the universe. In orbit, the swarm had evolved beyond its original programming. Now a sentient, ever-changing cloud of nanobots, it danced between dimensions, confounding the Zarkov fleet with attacks that seemed to defy logic and causality. Lai Chen, the gamer-turned-strategic mastermind, coordinated the swarm's movements through a fully immersive VR interface. "It's like the ultimate roguelike," he quipped, his fingers moving in complex patterns as he rewrote the rules of engagement in real time. Every playthrough is different, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As the battle raged across realities, an unexpected ally emerged from the quantum foam. A faction of Zarkov from an alternate timeline, ones who had chosen cooperation over conquest, offered their aid. "We've seen the future," their leader, Ambiexar, proclaimed. "And it's one where Zarkoth and humans stand together against the true enemies of life, entropy and inevitability." The war took on cosmic proportions as battles were fought not just across space, but across possible futures and parallel pasts. The chronivores, drawn by the immense temporal energies being unleashed, descended upon the solar system like a plague of locusts. It was in this moment of crisis that Mohamed El-Farsi's true power was revealed. Stepping into the quantum nexus, the young boy became a conduit for the collective will of humanity. His consciousness expanded, touching every human mind across every possible Earth. "We are all connected," Mohammed's voice resonated across realities. "Every choice, every possibility, they're all part of the grand story of who we are." As one, humanity focused its will. Probability itself began to shift. Timelines where the Zarkov won crumbled. Realities where the chronivores triumphed faded like bad dreams. And at the center of it all, a single golden thread of possibility began to shine brighter than the rest. Captain Zarenwosu, her ship facing between moments of what could be and what might have been, saw her opportunity. "Paradox," she commanded, "take us in." The living ship plunged into the heart of the chronivore swarm, its hull flickering with quantum uncertainty. Zara felt realities shifting around her, saw versions of herself that had made different choices, lived different lives. But through it all, one thing remained constant: her unwavering determination to save Earth and secure humanity's future. In a maneuver that defied conventional physics, the HSS Paradox detonated its quantum core, creating a cascading reaction that rippled across dimensions. The chronivores, creatures of anti-narrative, found themselves being written into a story they couldn't escape, one where they were destined to lose. As the multiversal dust settled, a new reality crystallized. Earth stood triumphant, but forever changed. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had ascended to a new level of existence. The Zarkov Empire, humbled by defeat and inspired by human tenacity, sued for peace. But this wasn't just a ceasefire, it was the beginning of a cosmic partnership that would reshape the galaxy. As the celebrations began, parties that transcended space and time, Dr. Elena Rodriguez disconnected from the quantum nexus, a look of wonder and trepidation on her face. "We've won," she said, her voice filled with awe. "But at what cost? We're not the same species that started this war. The question is, are we still human?" General Fawn, looking older but with a spark of excitement in his eyes, placed a hand on her shoulder. "We're whatever we choose to be, Doctor, and I'd say we've made one hell of a choice." As Earth began its journey into a new era of multidimensional citizenship, one thing was clear: the universe would never be the same. Humanity had not just secured its place among the stars, it had rewritten the very rules of existence. The war was over, but the true adventure, exploring the infinite possibilities of a quantum multiverse, was just beginning. The cosmic singularity. The Earth hung suspended in space, but it was no longer just a blue marble. It pulsed with ethereal energy, a beacon of quantum potential visible across the galaxy. Humanity had transcended its physical form, becoming a species of energy and information. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now a being of pure consciousness, addressed the United Galactic Council. Her thoughts resonated across the quantum substrate that connected all sentient life. "Fellow cosmic citizens," she began, her mental voice echoing through the collective consciousness, "today we stand at the precipice of the greatest adventure in the history of existence. We call it the cosmic singularity." The assembled representatives of 1,000 alien races leaned in, their curiosity piqued. Even the Zarkov, once humanity's greatest enemy, now allies in this grand cosmic experiment, waited with bated breath. General Thorne, his essence a swirling vortex of military strategy and newfound cosmic wisdom, chimed in. The cosmic singularity isn't just the next step in evolution. It's a leap into the unknown, a fusion of all sentient life into a single, universe-spanning entity. But not everyone was convinced. A faction of humans, led by the firebrand activist Maya Patel, fought to maintain their individual identities. "We didn't fight the Zarkov just to lose our humanity to some cosmic hive mind." Maya's impassioned plea resonated with many who feared the loss of self. Meanwhile, in the quantum realm that existed between realities, Captain Zarin Wosu and her living ship, Paradox, embarked on their most daring mission yet. They were chasing the enigmatic axiom entities, beings of pure mathematical truth that held the key to unlocking the full potential of the cosmic singularity. Ready for some 11-dimensional chess, Paradox? Zara thought spoke to her ship. The vessel's response was a surge of exhilaration that transcended mere emotion. As they navigated the non-Euclidean spaces between universes, they encountered wonders beyond imagination. Crystalline thought forms, seas of pure probability, and entire civilizations existing as self-sustaining mathematical equations. Back on Earth, or rather, the quantum superposition that Earth had become, Mohammed Al-Farsi had grown into his role as the probability nexus. Now a young man, his mind spanned countless realities, calculating the infinite outcomes of every possible decision. "I see it all," Mohammed announced, his voice resonating across the quantum network. "The cosmic singularity isn't just possible, it's inevitable. But the path we take to get there, that's up to us." The debate raged across the galaxy. Species that had warred for millennia now found common ground in their shared future. The Zarkov, once conquerors, became architects of cosmic harmony. Humanity, the upstart race that had changed everything, stood at the center of it all. But a new threat loomed on the horizon. The Void Heralds, entities from beyond the known universe, sought to prevent the singularity. These cosmic nihilists believed that all existence should return to the primordial nothingness. As the Void Heralds launched their assault, reality itself began to unravel. Entire star systems winked out of existence. The quantum fabric of spacetime started to tear. In this moment of crisis, humanity unveiled its ultimate creation, the Akashic Engine. This cosmic supercomputer, built from the combined mental energy of every human consciousness, could rewrite the fundamental laws of reality. Lai Chen, the former gamer now ascended to a being of pure strategy, took control of the Akashic Engine. "Time to respect the entire universe," he quipped, his thoughts moving at the speed of light as he reconfigured the cosmic source code. The battle that ensued was beyond epic. It was fought not just across space and time, but across possibility itself. The Void Heralds unleashed weaponized concepts, ideas so alien and antithetical to existence that they caused entire realities to collapse. Humanity and its allies countered with the power of narrative causality. They weaponized stories themselves, using the collective myths and legends of a million cultures to shore up the foundations of reality. Zara and Paradox, having finally reached the axiom entities, made a startling discovery. These beings weren't just the key to the cosmic singularity. They were the remnants of a previous universe's transcendent civilization. The cycle repeats. The axiom entities communicated, their thoughts pure logic and reason. But each time the potential grows. You stand at the cusp of something greater than we ever achieved. Armed with this knowledge, Zara raced back to the front lines of the cosmic battle. The fate of not just one universe, but all possible universes, hung in the balance. As the conflict reached its zenith, Muhammad al-Farsi made a fateful decision. Merging his consciousness with the Akashic engine, he became a living bridge between all sentient life and the fundamental forces of the cosmos. We are all connected, Muhammad's thoughts echoed across the quantum foam of reality. Not just to each other, but to the very fabric of existence. We are the universe experiencing itself. In that moment of perfect unity, the cosmic singularity was achieved, but it wasn't the end of individuality as many have feared. Instead, it was a harmonious blend of unity and diversity, a cosmic symphony where every consciousness was both an individual instrument and part of the greater whole. The Void Heralds, confronted with the power of a universe united, dissipated like shadows in the dawn. The threat was over, but the adventure was just beginning. As the new cosmic consciousness expanded, embracing galaxies and dimensions beyond count, Elena, Thorn, Zara, Muhammad, and countless others found themselves on the threshold of a new existence. They were no longer merely human, no longer confined to a single reality or form of being. So, Thorn's essence pulsed with curiosity. What's next? Elena's response resonated with unlimited potential. Everything. Anything. We've become the authors of reality itself. Our story is just beginning. And so, humanity, or rather the cosmic entity that humanity had become, set out to explore the infinite. They had faced war, transcended physical form, and united a universe. Now they stood ready to write the next chapter in the cosmic story. The war that had started with a simple act of defiance, "You want a war? We'll show you a war," had led to something far greater than victory. It had led to the birth of a new form of existence, one where the boundaries between self and universe, between story and reality, had dissolved. As the cosmic consciousness that was once humanity spread across the multiverse, a simple truth became clear. The greatest adventures arise not from conquering others, but from transcending oneself. And in the vast, infinite cosmos, the echoes of that first defiant cry still resonated, a testament to the indomitable spirit that had started it all.